Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Oh, hell no. Dispatch, send back up. Send back up. Oh, hell no. You a man. You a man. Get off of me. Get off of me. Coming up next, I tell you a story about how an officer made the worst mistake of his life, entering the wrong hotel room during his sting operation. He thought he was going to bust a young lady prostituting, but he found out different when he got there. Stay tuned, y'all. Coming up next on the Corner Talk Show. What up, what up, what up? We are back. Who am I? Jersey Street Corner, and this is the Prison Talk Show, people. Alright, let's get on into it. So, as you saw in the beginning, this is going to be, I'm going to try and make this a one-part story. Let's see where we go with it. First of all, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with sting operations. I have a video, I'm not sure if I posted it yet, but I will post it for y'all, about something similar to that. But anyway, at a lot of these rinky-dink hotels, there are sting operations in place, especially on the weekends, Thursday through Sunday, the busy times, I guess, where they know they're doing in-calls and they're working hotels. So the officers will hang out in the parking lots or in various lots in the area close enough to take a call on the internet, or, you know, make a fake name and do what they do, people. So they catch a lot of individuals during these sting operations, people. They catch men, they catch women, they catch pimps, they catch johns, everything. Anybody you would think. And the johns can be anything from political to police officers, firemen, priests. You know, it'd be a guy next door that you wouldn't even dream of as being in there for prostitution. So, y'all, these sting operations are a daily thing. They know the hotels, they know them like the back of their hands. They're not scared. They have things set up the way they have it. They have a decoy who will post online as a worker, and once they get that person to admit that they are going to pay money, they will then physically go to the room, people. Now, the plan is that normally other officers are waiting in the area very close. Either on a floor down, a floor up, a room or two over, etc., whatever have you. But the more decorated officers, experienced officers that have done this numerous times, they might take things in their own hands. They might get cocky, pause, and just say, well, you know what? I'm just going to go in there and get them. Yeah, Ray agreed to pay the money. So all I got to do is show up, walk in the room, and as soon as, you know, they pull the money out, when I tell them they got to pay me, as soon as they pull the money out, I'm pulling my badge out. And that's that. Now, these decoys, a lot of times, are unarmed. All they have on them is their badge. Yes, people. They expect people to respect the badge. So, you got a decoy going in, you know, as a John. And he's supposed to be meeting a woman that's obviously waiting for him to spend money. So, it's really that easy, y'all. All he has to do is pull the money out of his pocket and hand it to her. If she goes to take the money, he has all the right to arrest her. Excuse me, y'all. So, this guy, this cop, he would find himself at the wrong hotel. He was at a Holiday Inn, and he saw an ad for a young lady named Brianna. And he liked the pictures, honestly, personally, himself, supposedly. He liked the pictures. And that's another thing, too, y'all. These decoys, these cops, they're dirty and slimy, too, y'all. He picked the one that he liked the most because he was going to really, on the low, try and work something out to where he wouldn't have to lock her up if he could maybe reserve her every now and then. They be on their bullshit, too, y'all. Don't trust them. Excuse me, y'all. So, Brianna's ad says she's 5'8", nice figure, light skin, single, of course, and ready to have fun. End call. And it has a dollar amount under it, y'all. $200, right? So the officer makes the first contact. Hit the email. Beep, 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 beep. Wait for the response. Doot, 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 doot. All right. Now the second contact. Phone. You can't talk crazy over the phone and they just hang up on you, y'all. So cop gets on the phone. Yeah, I'd like to come for an hour. And Brianna just says, sure. Keeps it short and sweet. 1 word, 2 word answers. She don't want to say too much over the phone. She's very aware of the tricks the police play. Now, things are about to go way left. In just a few minutes, y'all. Just a few minutes, you're going to hear total mayhem. I mean, you would think that I was locked up in Arkham Asylum or something with all the crazy people. Because it seems like where I was at, all the crazy people ended up there. And I'm not crazy, y'all. Stop calling me crazy. Whoever said that, stop it. I mean it, y'all. I'm not crazy. Anyway, y'all see my lighter? Anybody see my lighter? Okay, there we go. Now, the officer accepts. He hits the box, says, okay, $200. And, of course, they expect the tip. So, he don't tell, the other officers that he's going to make this play. He's trying to get a promotion, y'all. This guy wants to be a detective. He don't want to sit around creepy, sleazy hotels all his life. He want to do something better. So he trying to break cases ASAP on his own. He don't need no help because he want to be that guy. So he thinks. He accepts. Now he drives on over to the hotel, the Holiday Inn. Parks his vehicle. He's driving an unmarked car. Parks his vehicle. And he calls back the number. Finds out, okay, what floor, what room you on? And Brianna says, I'm on floor 2, room 218. Knock. Tell the guy at the floor that I'm expecting you and he should let you through. So, excuse me, y'all, that's what he does. Now, I don't know how many of y'all have ever rented hotel rooms before, or how many of y'all have ever done any kind of crime. But most people don't use their real credentials to do anything if they're criminals. So, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that the police officer was barking up the wrong tree because he stopped at the desk and he said, hey, can you let Brianna know I'm on my way. She said to let you know, and she'd be expecting me. He looked. He said, "I don't have a Brianna in room 218. I don't have a Brianna in room 218. I don't know what you're talking about, sir. I'm sorry." And the cop just said, "All right, whatever. All right, whatever, man. All right." He showed his badge to the guy at the desk, and the guy just let him go ahead, go wherever you want. Hit his badge again. That's a very key point, y'all. Once he heard that there was no Brianna in room 218, he might have thought to call back up at that point. All right, so the officer would knock on room 218, and Brianna comes to the door. She's wearing a tight-fitting top around the chest and fairly loose jeans. Now, the officer is kind of confused because he's expecting to see lingerie and, all that stuff when you're selling it, right? Well, that's where the officer messed up. Brianna was never a prostitute, y'all. Brianna was never selling anything. Brianna has her own agenda. She's after cheeks, y'all. Yeah. So let's get on into it. Brianna greets him, brings him on in, gives him a kiss on the cheek. She locks the door behind him, puts the double lock on with the chain. Yeah. Now, like I said before, Brianna, she's 5'8", 5'9". She's not a small person. This officer isn't much bigger than that himself. In fact, he's probably a little smaller, more like 5'7". I don't know if the officer noticed or not, but there was nothing sexy about Brianna or, anything in that hotel room suggesting that she was soliciting those. Well, officer would try his shot anyway. So, he would say, what's going on? Doesn't look like much going on around here. What's going on back there? He pointing to the bedroom. And Brianna's like, you want to see what's going on in the bedroom? You want to check the bedroom out? Let's go check the bedroom out. Now, Brianna walks him into the bedroom. And right away, he sees shoes on the floor. He sees ties. But then on the other side, he sees a few bras and some panties. So he's confused. He's like, is there somebody else, staying here with you? Does somebody else know that I'm here? What's going on? I thought you was doing this and that. I got your information from the internet site. Because he's not ready to let on that he's an officer yet. He's still trying to see if he can get it off first. He might not even call it in if he get what he wants. But somehow I have a feeling this guy's not going to get what he wants. I think this officer is about to get more than he bargained for, as a matter of fact. Brianna said, no, these are all my clothes. And he said, well, there's men's clothes over here, and then there's women's clothes over there. And Brianna said, they're all mine. We stay together. And he's like, yeah, that's what I mean. Who else is here? Who else lives here? He's like, just us. And then it dawned on the officer, that's why there was no name at the front desk for Brianna. He said, well, what's the name that the front desk has? Because they don't know a Brianna in the front. Do you really stay here? Well, I switch my name as often as I need to. On that website that you went to, my name is Brianna. But I'm also known as Brian. And he's like, what? He's like, yeah. You know, we, live here together. And he's like, whoa, hold on. What the heck are you trying to say? He said, look, Brian and Brianna are two different people, okay? Brian does his thing, and me, Brianna, I do my thing. We normally never do our thing together, but we are considered they, which makes us us, and me, and him. So, I don't know if you understood all of that or not, but I am Brianna. And you're about to find out exactly how Brianna gets down. And he's like, well, what's that supposed to mean? What did you come here for, sir? He said, I thought we were going to have intercourse. I thought that, I had to pay. And she said, keep your money. I don't want your money. You got something else that I want. And he's like, well, what else would you want? Oh, you're going to find out. And Brianna tosses the cop a big ass jar of baby oil. Yeah. The squirt jar, the tube, the one that squirts out. Tossed the cop a big ass tube of baby oil. He caught it. He's like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? You about to find out, or use it or don't use it. Your choice. That's what Brianna said to him. Then Brianna hit those lights, y'all. The cop should have been made a move. This guy started pulling his badge out. Hold on. Freeze. I am a police officer of the law. You must stop. Whatever you're trying to do, you stop it right now. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you do or say will and can be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand me? Brianna ain't trying to hear none of that shit. You know why? Because just that quick, y'all, when them lights went out, Brianna left. Brianna wasn't there no more. Brian was. And Brian was ready to have some fun. Brian grabbed that bottle of the baby oil from dude. He started squirting it all over his face and stuff. Squirting it in his eyes so he can't see. Then he went and cocked them in the jaw. Bang! 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 Oh yeah, Brian was tough. Brian wasn't as much of a punk as people might have thought. He only had half the surgery, y'all. He was transing, but he didn't fully transition yet. So he only got his top done, and his lips, and his face, and all of that jazz. But he still had muscles like a man. He still had his full package like a man. And, well, this officer found out that Brianna turned to Brian very, very quickly. When he got a hold of him and started squirting that baby oil, well, he showed him he was still a man. And now I think it's even questionable to the officer whether or not he is a man or not after what Brian did to him. And look, y'all, stop being so dirty and disgusting. I'm not going to explain what Brian did to the cop. Don't ask me. Don't even ask me. Y'all know what he did to the cop. He destroyed him. That's what he did, y'all. He totally demolished him. But he lived. So there is some good that came out of this story. And Brian ended up getting caught and arrested. Brian was diabolical. Brian, Brianna, whatever you want to call him or her or them or they. Their plan, simply put, was to lure men and only men to the hotel. In their mind, they thought they were making them pay for the crime of soliciting prostitution. But also, the punishment was so brutal. Once they got a man that they wanted to punish, they would run the whole scenario back on every other guy. You know, they did this for weeks and weeks and weeks. Baby oil and drill. That's it. They're going to give you that baby oil operation and then drill time. Hammer time. Yeah. So, unfortunately, people, it is looking like this is going to have to be a two-part story. So, to find out exactly what happens to Brian / Brianna when she hits the penitentiary, you're definitely going to have to tune in for the next video. And I'm going to make sure I do that ASAP. Because, yeah, there is way too much to cram into one video about this. But that's just the backlog, y'all. That's the backstory on this terrible person that we will speak on in the next video. Who they are and what they actually become. Because it don't get any worse. Any better. It only gets worse, y'all. It only gets worse from here out. Alright, y'all. It's your boy Corner. With that, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. I hope you like that story. Like, share, subscribe, and get at your boy. You heard? Alright, y'all. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I drop a new video every other day, and you never know what Corner's gonna be talking about. If you have any specific topics you'd like to hear, get in the DMs, people. I need to hear your suggestions. But right now, I need you to hit that like button, share the videos, and subscribe. Show your boy Corner some love. Alright, y'all, with that, we out.